Good evening and welcome to This Week, a weekly news review program. I'm your host, Anwar Rabatr. And for top stories for this week we have Mongolia and India to intensify oil refinery project cooperation. Mongolia's People Party begins its 30th Congress. The United Nations delivered its preliminary report on violence against women in Mongolia. And for the news, stay tuned. The Speaker of Parliament's visit to India concluded on December 5th. Within the framework of his official visit to the Republic of India, Speaker Chandrasekhar held a meeting with India's Minister of Steel, Ramchandra Singh.
Mongolia has been paying special attention to the execution of its oil refinery project. To intensify the project's implementation and create a legal framework for it, the Parliament of Mongolia approved a bill on supporting the development of the oil refinery in January 2021, and Cabinet approved regulations on state support for the oil refinery in August 2021. The plant's engineering and design work has been completed, and the construction of non-technological facilities began in January. The project will focus on resolving logistics issues in phases, and the construction of a crude oil pipeline is scheduled to be complete 6 months before the plant is commissioned. During the meeting, the Mongolian and Indian sides expressed their commitment to achieving the desired results through mutual support and efforts, as the project is of great importance to the further expansion of the strategic partnership between the two countries, and will take economic cooperation to a new level. Mongolia imports $1 billion in oil products a year. According to a preliminary study, with the launch of the oil refinery, Mongolian GDP will increase by more than 10%, and state and local budget revenues will increase by $150 million. Officials expect 600 jobs to be created with the establishment of the oil refinery, in addition to the development of small and medium-sized businesses.
A Mongolian contortionist won an international competition for circus performers and was invited in to take part in the prestigious Circus Princess Festival with her performance Broken Doll.
Orunbillik is contortionist currently performing with the renowned Cirque du Soleil. She has been working in the industry for more than 20 years. Orunbillik won the Cirque Life Project's circus competition in June. The competition was organized by the Cirque Life YouTube channel for the first time this year, involving over 100 participants from all over the world.
The concept of my performance is a broken old doll who is thrown away, tries to fix herself, and begins to come alive. The performance represents the lives of performers and artists during the COVID-19 pandemic. The end of my performance shows how the doll falls down after all her struggles, but she's still alive even though she couldn't fully regain her strength. It shows that we are still restricted during the pandemic.
Orunbillik is one of more than 5,000 Cirque du Soleil performers. She also ranks 5th in the ranking for the most viewed circus performance videos on YouTube.
Due to COVID-19, I did not have the chance to perform in front of a live audience, and I was very nervous about performing in front of so many judges. The day when I was awarded the bronze crown was also my birthday. It was an unforgettable moment with many surprises.
She says that circus artists are often injured due to the nature of their occupation.
I want to come up with more ideas for performances. I'm also a yoga instructor. I try to come up with sets of exercises that will prevent back and joint injuries among circus contortionists like us.
She said that she wants to prepare the next generation of young performers who can represent Mongolia in the international circus arena.
The Mongolian People's Party, Mongolia's oldest political party, and the current ruling party began its 30th Congress on December 6th. During the Congress, Prime Minister Ayurtun introduced the party's new economic revival plan.
The Mongolian People's Party has been active for 100 years. The 30th Congress, which is a major event for the party, began on Monday and will continue for 2 days. As head of the Mongolian People's Party, Prime Minister Oyun-Ilden opened the Congress with a speech and introduced the government's new revival policy, a plan focused on economic independence.
The new revival of the economy should be based on an affluent middle class, self-sufficiency without foreign trade and investment, stable and inclusive growth, and a multi-pillar economic structure. The pandemic revealed to us the fragility of the Mongolian economy and its highly codependent nature. This issue has been a concern for generations of government bodies. This time we realize that the problem is nationwide and it's the best time to act on it without delay.
The Prime Minister also noted that it's time for Mongolia to have an economy that isn't solely based on mining, a state budget that isn't based solely on coal, and isn't importing fuel from only a few countries. The new revival policy covers several goals, including the expansion of ports, creating independent energy sources, including renewable energy, and to develop heavy industry. The most immediate goal is to upgrade the border checkpoints and expand logistics networks. The country will also aim to become a main transition point bridging Asia and Europe. Currently, more than half of the Mongolia population is centered in urban areas. The Mongolian People's Party emphasized future actions for decentralization and promoting the nomadic lifestyle in the countryside. In order to achieve the party's goals, the Prime Minister stressed the importance of having a productive government, one that isn't easily distracted by inefficient planning and election processes.
The new creation People 9 documentary photo exhibition was opened on December 5th. Moreover, photos from the exhibition have also been published as a book. The exhibition includes works that depict the life story of people and documented events.
The photo exhibition opens every year. The exhibition features photographs depicting human stories, feelings, love, and sorrow, as well as the realities of today's society. The book contains documentary photos taken over the last 22 years.
This book includes photos of photographer Batsorek from the People's Exhibition. In 2013, there was an exhibition called People 2, and between 2014 and 2020, a competition called Creation People was organized among all photographers. Not everyone's work could be included in this book, so we exhibited photos after a long selection process. I probably took this picture about 2 years before COVID-19 was recorded in Mongolia. Here we have been celebrating a New Year's party with children with disabilities who can't leave their homes. There are NGOs that help to organize a holiday party for those children. Children were very happy when I was taking these photos. I tried to express the children's inner feelings and emotions.
The book contains more than 700 works by 150 photographers. Each photo was reviewed by 10 photographers and was included in the book, including comments.
I wanted to show Russian society through our eyes. Those who live in Russia and know the system from the inside might have a different perspective. The families in this photo were sentenced because of their religion. They were Muslims. Could it be that society and human rights are at stake when they were sentenced to 25 years in prison? I try to show some social issues through my photos. I think it will be a message to the people.
The works in this exhibition have their own unique history and require a high level of sensitivity from the photographer. Many photographers submitted their work to the exhibition, but only those that passed the screening selection were allowed to exhibit their photos.
The Energy Regulatory Commission installed solar panels on the roof of its headquarters in 2020. Officials have concluded that the shift to solar power has allowed the state to save 60% on normal energy costs for the building over the course of the year.
The 30-kilowatt solar panels were placed on the roof of the building. Normally, the Energy Regulatory Commission spends 10 million Mongolian tugruk on annual energy costs, But with the switch to solar energy, officials found out energy spending fell by 60%, saving the state 6 million Mongolian tuguruk this year. Their experience is proof of how effective renewable energy is for economically and environmentally efficient energy consumption.
More than 50% of our energy consumption has been sourced from renewable energy. It's a good move to the environment, and this practice is becoming a new focus for our organization.
A total of 2 million Mongolian tuguruk was spent on the installation of the solar panels. Officials say that cost can be fully recovered in long-term energy savings. Mr. Atarcharal noted that if governmental organizations can save on their energy expenditures, it could result in major savings for the state. Energy officials are encouraging other government bodies to opt for renewable energy, which could cut energy costs by more than half. According to the Ulaanbaatar Electricity Distribution Network, energy costs for the governmental organizations operating in the capital are around 8 billion Mongolian tuguruk each month. Compared to last year, Ulaanbaatar's energy consumption has grown by 20%, and the consumption rate is expected to continue to grow in the coming years. Renewable energy is being considered to address the growing need for efficient energy.
Air pollution in Ulaanbaatar city has risen sharply this year. In recent years, more than 200 billion MNT has been spent on air pollution. However, citizens are being critical of the fact that air pollution is not decreasing. Therefore, officials have provided information on why the air pollution in Ulaanbaatar city is not decreasing. This is what Ulaanbaatar city looks like in recent days. The whole capital is set by smoke. There are 3 reasons for the increase in the city, said the head of the city's air pollution control agency.
There are many people who come to Ulaanbaatar and live without a proper address. These are all numbers that affect the fuel consumption. The number of households that are burning fires is not decreasing. The number is not decreasing at all. Also, the number of vehicles is increasing the air pollution in Ulaanbaatar. Third, the number to consider is whether Gir area households are able to use the standard stoves for coal briquettes. In 2020, out of about 142,000 households, just over 54,000 had stoves according to proper standards. That means about 90,000 households use non-standard stoves.
The Gir area expands by about 20,000 households per year, while the number of vehicles increases by 80,000. However, experts say that the inconsistency of government agencies is not leading to a reduction in the emissions, rather the expansion of the city and the improper handling of the vehicles adds smoke. Next year, Mongolia will spend 54 billion MNT to reduce air pollution, while the capital city will spend 35 billion MNT. This money is limited because it includes not only air but also soil pollution, water pollution and waste. However, we have the opportunity to implement our projects and programs within our budget and in cooperation with other government agencies and international organizations. We aim to make this happen. The amount of sulfur in the air is safe as briquette production has not lost its normal technology. Compared to last year, the quality of fuel has not changed. It is being monitored regularly. We have over 400,000 tons of coal briquettes in reserve. In addition, there are 1,700 tons of foreign and domestic additives in the fuels known as dopants. This reserve is for 17 to 20 days. As for the sacks, there are 1.3 million sacks that can hold 25 kg of coal briquette. That's a 15-day reserve. Ulaanbaatar city residents want to live in a healthier environment. However, doctors warn that air pollution in winter increases the risk of lung disease. Parents cannot completely control their children to get the information they need from the internet. Therefore, experts warn that parents need to pay special attention to controlling them and communicating with their children.
Teenagers first start playing electronic games just to have some fun, without realizing they have become addicted to playing games in cyberspace. Moreover, some children reported that their families became addicted as well. They showed signs of fatigue, irritability, forgetfulness, and even back pain.
I first played a computer game when I was in 7th grade. I played every day before I went to class. I was addicted for a while. Now I don't play at all. It is fun to play some electronic games. Because career choice is important, I think it's more rewarding to be trained in my chosen profession than to play some computer game at this age. It's wrong to be addicted to playing computer games for a long time. I play occasionally when I have some free time.
For instance, in the last 5 years, more than 200 children have been diagnosed with cyber addiction at the National Center for Mental Health. 57 children were hospitalized in 2018. 153 were in 2019, and 42 children were treated at the hospital in 2020. It has become so serious that doctors recommend that parents improve their supervision over their children.
Parents try to make their children happy. They believe that their children should have the same as anybody else, and they provide for all their needs and ignore their psychological needs. Assuming that a child is addicted to a screen or a cell phone in some way, there are actually many psychological problems behind it. Rather than accepting that the child is addicted, it's important to find out if there is an underlying psychological problem.
Mongolia has the highest number of active members using the internet in this part of Asia. In other words, control of the use of internet is weak. On the other hand, the involvement of parents is important, and the lack of control over whether the child is studying or getting the information he or she needs from the internet can lead to addiction to electronic games.
There are more than 100 licensed PC gaming centers in the capital city. The operation of about 80 unlicensed centers has been stopped since the beginning of the year. Researchers advise parents to talk with their children and to stay close to them to help them spend their time more productively.
Now let's see what's happening in the sports industry this week. Sumo elder Magaki, the 36-year-old recently retired former Yokozuna Hakuho Dawa has had 5 records recognized by Guinness World Records, the Japan Sumo Association announced on Friday. The Japan Sumo Federation announced that Hakuho, known as the country's most career champion with 45 Grand Sumo Championships, has entered the Guinness Book of World Records. The 5 records are for Hakuho's 45 career Grand Tournament Championships, 1,187 career wins, 1,093 Makuuchi Division wins, 16 Makuuchi Championships without a loss, and 84 Grand Tournaments at the sport's highest rank of Yokozuna. "I've received a nice award at the very end," Magaki, who retired after September's tourney, said in a statement released by the Japanese Sumo Association. Hakuho's achievements were first recognized by Guinness in 2015 when he surpassed a record of 33 championships set by Taiho, the Showa era's greatest Yokozuna. "I will continue to do my best as an elder," said Magaki, who is still with the Miyagi-no stable, although now as a coach. "I would like to nurture apprentices in a way that they, too, can receive recognition by Guinness World Records." Hakuho, Mongolian-born Yokozuna, was unable to compete in some competitions after the new type of coronavirus illness and an injury to his knee, and ended his career at the end of September. The living legend of sumo continues to coach the Miyagi-no facilities after his retirement. The 2021 World Junior and Senior Championships took place in the Georgian capital, Tbilisi, from November 27th to December 5th. Sadnum Pilche, White Olympics gold medalist, won a silver medal in the 107 kg weight category. The Powerlifting World Championships, which started on November 27th, ended on Sunday. Sadnum Pilche, a labor hero of Mongolia and Olympic gold medalist, won a silver medal in the 107 kg weight category. Alyakbar Garbshi of Iran, who won his first world title in his weight class, set a new world record by lifting 251 kg. Sadnum Pilche won a silver medal by lifting 244 kg, and a bronze medal was won by Rasaman Razi of Iran. Sadnum Pilche set an Olympic record by lifting 245 kg at the Tokyo Olympics. Iran won 3 gold, 3 silver and 1 bronze medal at the World Cup and finished second. China topped the medals table at the Tbilisi 2021 World Championships with 5 gold, 4 silver and 4 bronze medals. Nigeria took 3rd place with 3 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronze medals. It is the first edition of the World Championships in Europe since the inaugural competition in Uppsala, Sweden in 1994. Nur-Sultan, Kazakhstan hosted the last Worlds in 2019 with 430 participants representing 76 nations. Well, that's all for this week. We will see you next week with more news and updates. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.